Hey there, struggling solo and small group players. It's great to be a playmaker, but this is a starting guide for the rest of us. This is the fastest, most reliable way to get a secure base, and it doesn't require any PvP skill. Step 1. Once you start, you'll want to explore and try to find a good location to build a base. You'll need to consider how popular the server you're playing on is, and how much of a challenge you want from your wipe. Do you want to be in the middle of the action, or do you want to hide away somewhere? While you're exploring, make sure to collect 30 cloth and 100 wood for a sleeping bag. Step 2. Hide a sleeping bag in a small box in bushes near where you plan to build. When you're just starting out in Rust, you will be killed a lot. This guide is designed so that when you die, you will not lose all of your progress. Once you have found a good base location, hide a sleeping bag in a bush nearby. That way if someone kills you, you can just respawn and continue to work in the area. Next, hide a small box, which costs 100 wood, in bushes near your sleeping bag. Bushes like the ones you see on screen work very well, but just do your best with what's in the area. A bush next to a rock also works well since the rock will hide one side of the box. As you begin gathering resources for the next step, place them in the box. Sometimes people will find your boxes, but it's still much safer than on your body. You can also use a small stash, which is harder for other players to find, but I don't use them because I also have a hard time finding my own. Step 3. Once you have enough resources, place a stone enclosed tool cupboard where you plan to build your base. Just pause that last step or check the description if you want to know exactly how many resources this step will take. 2042 wood is exactly how much wood you will need to create a wood enclosed tool cupboard. It's often safer to start with wood and then upgrade to stone. This will mean that you'll have fewer resources hidden in your box for less time, so that if someone does find your box, it won't hurt you as badly. If you want to upgrade directly to stone, there will be a bit of a higher chance that your wood and stone will be stolen, because you'll have to store it for longer as you are gathering the full requirements, but you can save yourself 750 wood by skipping the wood upgrade. Too many players will make a simple stone house with a wooden door, with a tool cupboard just sitting inside the house fully accessible. If you do that, you will get raided, and then you will get griefed. If you are new to the game, griefing is when raiders raid your house and gain access to your TC, and then place walls in front of your doors so that you cannot use the house anymore. Being griefed is worse than being raided, especially when you are starting off. If you are raided, but still have TC control, you can rebuild. For solo and small group players, there's no good reason why you need access to your tool cupboard. It will simply make you more vulnerable to being griefed. Placing the TC should be the first step to creating your base. Remember that the goal of this guide is to set you up so that if you die, you will not lose all of your progress. Once you have the tool cupboard down, that area is yours. Nobody can build there but you. It doesn't matter how many times you get killed, you can come back and build. Step 4. Build a 1x2 beginning section of your new base that has 2 empty doorways. Once you have your twig section set, I would recommend just mining with a building hammer, so that you can place the stone you get directly into upgrading your base, and then just store the ore in your hidden box. If someone finds your hidden boxes and steals all your loot, at least they won't get much stone. If you want to build larger than a 1x2 starting section, you certainly can. What's essential is that your starting section of your base should be fully enclosed with stone, and that you should have an airlock, which is to say that to enter the enclosed section, you should have to go through 2 doorways. In this video, I'm just building a 1x1 loot room with the triangle stone enclosed TC attached, and then I'm attaching another triangle foundation to serve as the airlock. Step 5. You need to craft a wooden door and a key lock and have it ready on your hotbar. And then you need to have at least 2025 wood, 700 metal ore, 43 cloth, 200 stone, and 39 animal fat. Once you have that, grab all of your hidden loot, run into your base, and place the wooden door on the outside doorway. 2025 wood is the absolute minimum to craft everything you really need, but you'll probably want to take more like 2500 wood in case you end up crafting something extra. The hard part for this step will probably be getting the animal fat. Do your best to hunt animals. You can also get low-grade fuel from oil barrels. If you can't get fat or low-grade fuel that way, chop up other players' corpses or even your own body when you die and have to respawn. Getting fat from human bodies is not quick, but you will get it if you keep trying. Now you see me entering the base and placing the wooden door and key lock on the outside doorway. And then I will begin crafting everything I need. Key locks are absolutely terrible. After you are inside, do not leave your house until you finish step 6. If you do, someone will kill you, take your key, and walk inside your base and take all of your stuff. Wooden doors are also very weak and enemies will burn them down pretty quickly. You need to get your metal smelting as soon as possible so that you can craft sheet metal doors. Step 6. Craft 2 sheet metal doors and 2 code locks and place them on your 2 doorways, creating an airlock to protect your furnace and loot. It only takes about 10 minutes to smelt the 350 sheet metal that you need for a sheet metal door and code lock. Make sure you set your furnace up so that you have 1 slot for wood, 4 for metal ore, and 1 for sheet metal. The charcoal will fall out, but you can just grab that from the ground. Since the inner doorway is still empty, you can place the first sheet metal door there without having to risk taking out the outside door and having your base wide open for attack. Once you have your second door ready, take off the outer wooden door and replace it with a sheet metal door. So there you have it. That's Wandering Wizard's 6-step starting guide, the fastest way to a secure base. Once you have a base with a furnace that requires enemies to use explosives to raid, you've passed the hardest part. What's so difficult about getting started in Rust is that you don't have anywhere secure to store your loot, and you can't smelt metal to make metal doors. Once you get to this place, you can either stop building and just make plays all wipe out of a little solo shack, or you can keep farming and build a much bigger base. This guide works. It sets you up so that each death doesn't hurt you that much. If you want to take even more precaution for step 5, you can also craft your furnace first and place it separately in your empty house. That way if you get killed while you're doing that, you only lose the furnace and not all of your other items as well. This guide works on low pop servers without a hitch. On high pop servers, it's a struggle and you will die a lot, but it still works. The key is to be persistent. If your hidden box is found, make a new one. If your one door gets burned down during the 10 minutes it takes you to smelt metal for a metal door, keep trying. This is simply the best way to get started. I've used it dozens of times. It minimizes your risk as much as possible, and it doesn't require you to be a PvP master. In fact, you can lose all of your fights and the system will still work. This video is an update of an older video I made for the XP system. The guide is still essentially unchanged. It's actually even a little bit easier under the component system because you don't need components for any steps of this guide. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new, feel free to ask me any questions. If you're looking for some good base designs, check out my other videos.